That was well done.
He's on.
I don't know what you do in your Uber, but I spent my morning writing that. Here we go. We were all looking forward to this game last night.
Yes.
Did it live up? I can't decide.
It was more entertaining than the first 10-7 game of the week.
That's fair enough. Let's show you what happened last night at Lambeau Field, game of the night. Jalen and the Eagles, Jordan and the Packers. Felt like it could be a preview of an NFC Championship game. Early on, we got to deal with the tush-push portion of the highlights.
Yes, we do.
Here's Jalen Hurts. Everybody's jumping early. Nobody cares. Let's watch it again. Nobody cares.
Just a smidge. By the way, the Packers did it on a QB sneak earlier and didn't get called. They don't be crying. They miss it all the time.
No rules anymore.
That's right.
Now the Eagles, this turned into an almost 9-minute drive that ends with this. Look at the punch from Edgerrin Cooper.
Insanely good play by Cooper. By the way, his knee is on the defender. It's just an unfortunate turn of events for Hurts because really he was trying to get down.
Looked like the offenses were going to get it moving early, and then nothing of the sort happened. Start of the second quarter, Packers going for it on a 4th and 1. Love sneaks it for the first down, but Domonique, you're not going to believe me when I tell you they called it for them moving early.
Yeah, this was a barely false start, but it's a false start.
That was
a good
the
call.
second time
They got away with it. They got away with it once.
That play is an abomination. Under a minute left in the first half. Jordan Love.
No.
What the actual heck are we doing, J-Man?
I have no idea. There's nothing there. Look, he's trying to do a volleyball sack and get the ball to the running back. Just take the sack at a time.
It's what he does. You know the name Garo Yepremian, that's what it looked like. Scoreless first half on Monday Night Football. Now we go to the fourth quarter. Saquon Barkley, watch this move.
It looked like a blown coverage right there. It's man coverage. They let Saquon loose, and one thing you don't want to do is let Saquon loose.
41 yards on that play. He would add 60 rushing, and now they're going for the knockout punch. J-Mac Devontae Smith over Evan Williams.
In quarters coverage, he does one-on-one with the safety and finds him down there for 6. Really good ball by Jalen Hurts. And Devontae Smith goes up and makes the play.
Eagles up 10-zip. Now, would the Green Bay offense get going? Jeff, yes, they would. Here comes Josh Jacobs fighting, pushing, and eventually scoring.
Behind them pass, getting physical. Oh, the game's turning for a little momentum swing right here.
10-7. Now we're inside the 2 minutes. Packers going for it on a 4th and 1. Looking to basically put the game out of reach. Josh Jacobs, Jeff, what are we doing?
Listen. Tush, push. Tush, push. You try to get it banned. You keep running inside zone on 3rd and 4th and short, getting stuff. Stop doing it.
Jalen Phillips, baby. Welcome to the team.
The other side, curious decision from the Eagles. This is on a 3rd and 7. Saquon picks up just a yard. So now 4th and 6, and we're going for it. Analytics, for what it's worth, slightly favored a punt here. Either way, they decide to go for it. What's a good safe call on 4th and 6?
Let's go deep. Throw it up. A high-risk pass to A.J. Brown, a guy that you barely threw the ball to all game. Incomplete.
Analytics didn't favor that.
He hit his hand, huh?
Not the greatest effort on the play, one way or another. Packers take over, still in the game, 20 seconds to go. 2nd down at their own 36. This is Bo Melton for 18 yards. We're going to run up. We're going to get this thing spiked, and we're going to bring out Brandon McManus. How's his health, Dan Graziano?
Not great. Greedy's had a leg injury. Is that bad for a kicker?
Why not try a 64-yard field goal? Oh, okay.
As he limps out.
All right, never mind. Yeah, that one wasn't particularly close. That's your ball game, folks. Eagles win an ugly one, but an important one. 10-7, the final at Lambeau. Micah, talk to me.
I wouldn't panic at all. Like, we're going to win a lot of football. Like, the way we just played, we're going to win a lot of football games. So, I mean, there should be a lot. And this is considered one of the best offenses in National Football League. So, I would not panic. I wouldn't stress. We're going to win football games, I promise you.
Okay. So that's actually probably a good thing for him to be saying, don't panic, we're going to win a bunch of football games. What was the first thing you said to me about that game last night?
Playoff game. That's what it was, a playoff game. That was and I know there's not a lot flashy, wasn't a lot of scoring, but that's what you got to do. You find ways to win tough games, good opponent. Philly goes on the road, primetime game in Green Bay, and this is what you have to learn to do. Sometimes they're not going to be hitting on all cylinders. You find a way to win. It was a playoff game that they found a way to win.
Yeah, I think, Jeff, calling a playoff game is accurate because playoff games oftentimes come down to 5 or 6 plays, whether you make them or not in a particular game. In this game, the Eagles made those plays, and the Packers had had their chances. There were
they did.
penalties, there were drops, there were bad decisions that cost them this game, and that's what the difference in the playoffs when you have really good teams.
I mean, look, playoff game, sure, but I think the Eagles are still going to have to find a way to score more than 10 points if they're going to win, several playoff games like they did last year. There's still significant questions about both of these offenses. I'm watching it thinking, like, are they? You guys tell me, like, are they too conservative with their play calling, both these teams? If so, why? Like, do they not fully trust their young quarterbacks? Jalen Hurts not even young anymore. But, I mean, it just doesn't seem like either team wanted to put the game in its quarterback's hands.
And it seems like if you look at both of these quarterbacks, on one hand, you have Jordan Love. And to a certain extent, I think for LaFleur, you're trying to pull the reins back. You don't want to give him too much freedom because that's where he tries to get out there, a gunslinger type of player. But then on the other side, Jalen Hurts, you're like, you know what, just go ahead and throw it down the field a little bit. Take that risk. See if A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith can go make that play. You can combine these two guys. I think it would be the perfect quarterback.
Position, right? Where Jordan Love maybe sometimes is too risky, if you will, no risk it, no biscuit kind of thing. And on the other side, you have Jalen, and maybe he's a little too risk averse. But when we were talking about Jordan Love this morning, Jeff, your thought is?
Yeah, he ain't the guy. That's what you're going to get. Like, I appreciate when you see Jordan Love in big moments. At halftime, we're going into halftime. We got 3 points secured. You can't make that decision. Like, as good as your defense is, they give you every opportunity to win. These are the plays. So when you talk about being risk adverse, and if you're LaFleur, you can't coach that out of somebody. You can't make that decision, bro. Like, you can't do it. And if you look at the playoffs when they've struggled, you look at Love. I would trust Hurts more than I trust Love right now. And if you're the Packers, you are living and praying your defense continues to do it and Josh Jacobs get hot.
But isn't there some? I mean, like the Packers have now lost 3 games where they held the opponent to 16 points or fewer. Like, that's not just a few bad plays here or there. This offense should be functioning more consistently at a high level, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I remember sitting here when they made the Micah Parsons trade. I believe it was Orlovsky who was sitting there who said, Jordan Love, fling it. Now you can do it. Open up this offense because when you make a few mistakes, you have a defense that'll pick you up. You put them in a short field, they'll hold them to a field goal, make a big sack, cause a big turnover on defense. The defense is doing its job. Is Jordan Love not?
I mean, he's making the mistakes without getting the high-end plays on the other end.
Right.
That's the issue. It's like, like inherent in what Dan is saying is we will accept a couple turnovers because you're going to give us 3 jumbo touchdowns.
Right.
He's not getting the super explosive plays, but still somehow is finding a way to turn the ball over or other people are dropping passes.
I will just, on last night, I think they definitely missed Tucker Kraft, the injured tight end, who was a big part of those explosive plays all year. And they're banged up at wide receiver by the end of it. I wonder if they scaled things back for that reason. I mean, if you have to go to, no offense to South Jersey football legend Bo
Rutgers,
Melton.
baby, Rutgers.
But if you have to lean on Bo Melton, like the plan has fallen apart.
The Eagles did a good job, but give the Eagles defense credit too. The Eagles did a good job of compressing Love, making him feel uncomfortable in the pocket, putting pressure. Like, they played physically up front, even with just 4. That's not I mean, when you think about asking quarterbacks to go play and go win, Jordan Love in games like this, his game has to increase. So those around him, the guys you're talking about who are been injured, they got to pick that part up.
Let me put a specific number to what Dan Graziano just said. Cindy, let's go to A18. You mentioned it's Love's 3rd loss this season when his defense allowed fewer than 16 points. Overall, in games in which his defense allows fewer than 17 points, Jordan Love is 8-4. Aaron Rodgers, as a Packer, was 65-4 in those games.
So if he wins his next 57, then
he's
good.
That's a Graz comment,
right? I mean,
look, Rex got a lot of grief for saying it here a couple of weeks ago, but I think more and more people are starting to feel it. Is Jordan Love the weakness? Is that the word I'm looking for? Is he the Achilles heel? Is he the reason this defense is spectacular? And you saw it last night. They're so good. They're able to get pressure with 4. They do all the things you want a defense to do. Micah is all over the field. They seem like they have pieces. I get it that they lost the tight end who had been a big part of it. Is Jordan Love good enough to get them where they want to go?
I mean, the quarterback's the most important player on every team. So you can have that question about any player in any situation. I think part of the issue with Jordan Love is he shows that he can be really, really great. And our expectations get to a point where we're like, well, just take care of these decisions. It's kind of the curse of a lot of these really talented quarterbacks. And when you have these games, what I pointed out earlier is, like, you also have to be in the same game. When you have a bad pass, you have to be able to bounce back. and make an enormous play. And he hasn't been able to do that in all these tight losses.
And I think when you talk about that quarterback position, to what you guys are saying, what Dan O said, you want him to take those risks, but it's what type of risks are there? When you draw up a play and you're trying to go deep, if you get one-on-one, you take that risk. A week ago, they played the Panthers, and we talked about him throwing the ball into a team meeting.
Right.
Then last night, you watch him in field goal range, a chance to put points on the board before half, and you just ultimately give the ball away. Those are the plays that when we look at Jordan Love, we just haven't seen him shake those. And at some point, as a young quarterback maturing into a veteran, being a franchise type of guy, and someone that people believe can take your team to the next step, those plays have to be removed. For the most part, those are the plays that we don't see Jalen Hurts make, and that's the reason why the Eagles win football games.
And let's say, but the Eagles have a completely different strategy than Green Bay, right? Like the Eagles, if they need to go score, he's making fun of their offense scoring. Tim, they've also scored 30 plus, right? Like they can do it. The problem that I see with Jordan Love is they are not pushing the ball down the field. You looked at it at some point. Even if it is an arm punt, at least you're changing field position. If you're throwing the ball short and still not moving the football, you're in trouble for Jordan Love in this Packers offense.
Josh Jacobs, and they were going to run the ball and pound it and build everything off of that. I don't know if that's the solution. Christian Watson is back. Like he could be an explosive element in their passing game. They unleash him a little bit. I don't know what the
having these quarterbacks juxtaposed against each other is interesting because in this game, I think we walk away feeling a lot better about Hurts than Love. But in actuality, like what happened was, I mean, Hurts there was a breakdown in coverage and found Saquon Barkley in the flat, and Saquon then ran for 40 yards. And Jalen Hurts threw a 60-40 ball, and it was a great situation right here where you had him throw that ball up and make a big play. Right here. This is right there, missing the coverage, man coverage. So, like, it's not necessarily, I don't want to pile on Love as much and recognize that some of these are about the players around them making plays, while Love is dealing with people dropping passes and those type of problems. This is the other big play where they lean the coverage to the left away from they lean it towards A.J. Brown. And that gives an opportunity where the motion creates a matchup, a one-on-one in quarters with the receiver and Smith against a safety. And that sets up a big play. And it's like a 50-50, 60-40 ball. He makes a play. The players around him have to make these plays for Jordan.
And the Eagles have two wide receivers that are better than any wide receiver the Packers have.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who's making that play for Green Bay that Devontae Smith makes there?
The Eagles have better players all over the field on offense and probably at quarterback as well, and that may be a good place to leave the conversation.